Hi guys! So today I'm going to be entering Rockboy680's 1000 subscribers contest. Dude, congratulations for getting 1000 subscribers. That's an amazing milestone. And I think the contest is it's a great idea for a contest, so yeah. But before I start, I want to get a couple things out of the way. My hair's different, I just got it dyed. The location's different. I'm trying something new because there's too much stuff on the other wall where I usually film. So yeah, the decade I've decided to choose is the 70s. Even though I'm wearing a shirt of a 90s band, but whatever. I was kind of torn between choosing the 70s and the 90s because those are my two favorite decades of music. But I decided to go with the 70s just because since I own more albums from the 70s than the 90s, I would have a little more variety. But I still think the contest is a really great idea, and I will probably end up posting videos about my favorite 80s and 90s albums because I think this is a great idea for a video. So yeah, since he wants this to be 10 minutes, I'm going to go pretty fast. I tried my best to limit it to one entry per artist, but since my collection's so small, my options were kind of limited, so there's one band that is repeated several times. So yeah, let's just get started. So for 1970, I chose Band of Gypsies by Jimi Hendrix, his live album. And for a live album, this is really good, so that's why I chose it. I really wanted to choose Paranoid by Black Sabbath because that is one of my absolute favorite albums of 1970, but since I was trying to limit it to one entry per artist, I chose a different Black Sabbath album for the list. So yeah, this is the one I chose for 1970. So for 71, I chose Led Zeppelin 4. I know this is the Led Zeppelin 2 cover, but the record is Led Zeppelin 4. Yeah, so, yeah, Led Zeppelin 4. I didn't own that many albums from 71. This may have been the only one I own, but, you know, it's a really good album, so it's not a bad album to own. So, for 72, I chose Black Sabbath 4, which is my favorite Black Sabbath album. It is absolutely amazing. I love it so much. I think kind of what influenced me to choose this album was because in September I am seeing Black Sabbath in concert on their final tour. I'm so excited. But that's something to talk about for another time. But yeah, Black Sabbath Volume 4. It's an amazing album. It's one of my personal favorite Black Sabbath albums. So yeah. So for 73, I was kind of torn between choosing Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, which is just a very influential album. It's well known and stuff, and choosing an album that is just one of my personal favorites, and it's one that I love a lot. I ended up choosing the other one. It's Buckingham Nicks. I talk about this album all the time. It's absolutely amazing, so underrated. I would definitely give it a listen. Yeah, it's just Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham by themselves. So for 74, this one I didn't own many albums from 74, so my options were kind of limited. But I think what I chose is pretty good. It's Fleetwood Mac, Heroes Are Hard to Find, and since I can't really think of any other album that came out in 1974, this is a pretty good one to choose. It's a really underrated album from their early work, and it's one I definitely listen to. It's great. So for 75, I wanted to pick Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, because that is just it's my favorite Pink Floyd album, well, one of my favorites, and it's just an amazing album. But sadly, I don't own it on vinyl, so I really couldn't choose it. But if I did own it, I would totally choose it because it's just amazing. So I went with this, like, my second favorite album from 75, which is Fleetwood Mac's Self-Titled. Just almost every song on this album is just an amazing masterpiece. It's just a great album. yeah. So for 76, this one was really easy for me to pick out because I love this album and I love this band. It is Heart's debut, Dreamboat Annie. This is another album I talk about all the time because it is just amazing and I love it so much. And Heart is a great band. They are so underrated. So yeah, this is definitely one I had to pick for 76. Like, when I was thinking about my choices, like, when it came to 76, I was like, Dreamboat Annie. Like, there's nothing else that can top this. So for 77, this one was kind of hard, because there's so many great albums that came out in 77. A couple that I was considering were Pink Floyd Animals, which is my other favorite Pink Floyd album, and Heart Little Queen, which is another just amazing album. But I went with Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, which is just, you know, it's Rumors. It's a great album. It's influential. It's, like, when you think of music that came out in the 70s, one of the first things you think of is Rumors, because it was one of the best albums of the entire decade. So, yeah. So for 78, again, this one I didn't own many albums from 78, so my options were limited. But I'm pretty happy with what I picked out. I think it was a good choice. It is Van Halen's self-titled debut. And Van Halen is one of those bands that after a while, they start to get annoying, like with their later albums and Van Hagar. But you know, this is the original guys, David Lee Roth, and it's just a great album. It's definitely Van Halen at their best. You know, you have songs like Running with the Devil on here, and Jamie's Crying, and Ain't Talking About Love, and just great classic songs. So yeah, Van Halen is, you know, I mean, their later stuff is but this is the best. This is the best out of all of them. So for 79, a lot of you that have been watching my videos for a while, you might assume that I would pick Tusk by Fleetwood Mac, which I was considering picking that because it is just, you know, I talk about it all the time. It's my favorite Fleetwood Mac album, and it's just one of my favorite albums in general, but I did not pick it out. I went with something else. I had to get some Pink Floyd on here. If you haven't figured out already, I'm talking about The Wall. You know, it's probably my third favorite Pink Floyd album. The reason I chose it over Tusk was because, well, one, I had no Pink Floyd on here and I had to get some Pink Floyd on here. They're like my second favorite band ever. And two, it's just one of the best albums of the entire 70s. It's, you know, it's weird, it's experimental, and it's amazing. Just an amazing concept album. It's a great album. I love it a lot. It has great songs. Another Brick on the Wall is a great song. You know, Comfortably Numb, of course. And it has some, like, underrated songs, too. Two of my personal favorites off of this that no one ever talks about are Young Lust and Run Like Hell. So, yeah. The Wall. It's a great album. So those were my picks for the best albums of the 70s. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun doing this video. So yeah, if you haven't entered Rockboy680's contest yet, I would definitely suggest entering it. Because, you know, just a fun video to film, yeah. So even if you don't want to enter, you should, it's a fun video to film. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!